Good evening. My name is Jeremy Henderson, and I'm the founder of Synergy 7. And before we begin, I want everyone here in the audience and participating online to do me a favor. I want you all to pretend to take a jump shot. There we go. Okay, now take one more. Okay, Adam, I saw your first one. There we go. There we go. It looked a little shaky, but that's okay. So could you tell any difference between the form in your second shot versus your first shot? Could you tell if your elbow was perfectly straight or slightly slanted to the right, or if your release was too fast or too slow? All of these differences could impact whether or not you shoot the ball like Steph Curry or miss like Bill Cartwright. And the problem is that with just the eye test, it's very difficult to identify these inconsistencies in your form, which is why we at JSleeve created our inaugural product, the JSleeve, in order to track your form and identify areas of improvement and allow athletes to develop the appropriate muscle memory process of shooting the basketball the right way. So what exactly is the JSleeve? The JSleeve is a smart basketball shooting sleeve with embedded hardware that speaks to any mobile device and provides feedback on how accurate you shot the ball. With that accuracy in terms of how you shot the ball, we can then let you know how your shot looked and compared against your ideal form. Within our app, we track shot form accuracy, we track shot location, fatigue, and field goals between makes and misses. And by tracking your shot performance, location, and fatigue, our virtual clipboard will give coaches and programs the opportunity to optimize their game plan strategies. For the individual user, we have a gamification feature that will allow Angela here in Chicago to challenge Yao Ming in China, shot for shot, to compete for King of the Court and hold the title of King of the Court. Now, in the U.S., there are over 26 million people who play the game of basketball, making it the country's most played sport. And our focus is on those 9.9 million athletes who play in organized amateur basketball leagues. And based off of the retention rates that we've seen in youth sports leagues, we expect the JSleeve to have an average lifetime usage of 3 years. The JSleeve has a price of $175 and has a data plan subscription fee of $10. This translates to a lifetime value of $371 per user for Synergy 7. And based off of those 9.9 million users, our potential market size is $3.7 billion. Now, our primary target customer are going to be those parents and caretakers of youth athletes that fall between the ages of 8 and 18 that play in youth development leagues. They are looking to track and improve and succeed their game. They're looking to showcase their skills and abilities to trainers, coaches, and scouts and remain physically active. Now, we have 2 sales channels in order to capture our primary target customer. One being our digital marketing strategy, which we'll deploy across all social media platforms, and the other being our affiliate program. And for the sake of time, I'm going to focus primarily on our affiliate program, which is made up of 3 silos. You have competitive leagues, developmental leagues, and skills trainers. Now, competitive leagues like AAU have over 700,000 athletes who play AAU basketball. Developmental leagues like K Youth Basketball and 99, where I live in Houston, Texas, average 2,000 participants every year. This translates to $800,000 of value for Synergy 7 for one development league. And lastly, we have skills trainers. There are thousands of skills trainers who train hundreds of athletes every year. And our goal and the goal of our affiliates is to make the JSleeve to the athlete's skill development process as vital as the violin is to the violinist. So in short, if you're playing basketball and trying to get better, you're shooting a basketball with a JSleeve. We would certainly like to appreciate and thank you for your time and allowing us to participate in this event. So I guess at this point, Adam, I'll go ahead and turn it over to you to open it up for questions.
Yeah, thank you very much. Appreciate it. And yes. Yeah, thank you very much. Appreciate it. And yes, and thank you for not making too much fun of my terrible jump shot, because you know
It
it's
was a
made my
little
life.
flat, but that's okay. We can get you
It's
a
true.
J
It's
sleeve.
made my life hard for many years. Don't worry. Okay, I wanted to first open it up. I'll start with a question, unless actually I'll open it up to the judges first, and then I have my own question too, but I'll start with them first.
I'll go ahead and give it a shot. Great job, Jeremy, as a Indiana Hoosier who played basketball. I can appreciate your product.
Thank you very much.
I'm interested in your pricing model and how you got to that pricing of $175 and the $10 subscription. Can you walk me through how you did that? And then also the margins.
Yeah, absolutely. So the way we arrived at both the price for the sleeve and for the data plan was based off of customer feedback during our testing periods. And so some of the questions we asked were, what is the appropriate range for parents and caretakers who have these youth athletes that play in these sports leagues? What is a good price point for the value that we're delivering? And so they benchmarked those prices against the shoes that they purchase for these practices or for their youth athletes as they play in these leagues. They benchmarked it against some of the training that they actually get from personalized trainers. And the way that we landed on that $175 as well as a $10 fee was based off of the mid-range point of the feedback that we received from our direct customers during our testing period. And regarding the margins, so the price of the J sleeve is $75 and our cost of goods sold is at $55. So that gives you that margin there. And regarding the data plan fee, we have 70% that we would make in terms of profit off of the data plan package based off of storage for all the data we'll be capturing.
Can you give me the price of the sleeve plus the other cost of goods sold one more time? Because what's the total cost for everything in that, not your subscription, total cost of goods sold, whatever you want to call it? Is it $75 you said for the sleeve?
I said $55.
I'm sorry, that's my fault. Okay, 55. Yeah. And any other costs that for your sleeve to sell it at 175?
No other costs. So in our cost of goods sold of $55, that's both material and manufacturing costs in $55.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Great. Thanks, Greg. Any other questions from the judges?
Just curious, Jeremy, great job with the presentation. It's a really cool concept. I'm one of those old timers that would be interested in trying it out. I like to shoot the ball, but I need some help too. Just curious about these wearables, like in basketball space in particular. Is this are you a trailblazer in this front? Are there other products in the space that you'd be competing with, or what?
Yeah, sure. So the market is very nascent. We do have limited competition with Shot Tracker and Hoop Tracker, to name a few. But we expect to have a bigger impact because our product is more dynamic and provides more diagnostic feedback. Other than that, the wearables market regarding basketball is wide open. The idea of the J sleeve came to me, quite honestly, when I was training kids back in Houston, and they actually came into the gym with their Fitbits on, or at the time they would have had a Nike Fuel Band. And so when I was training them, they came in on their phones, and so they were so glued to their phones, but they had a love for the game. But their fundamentals were seriously lacking. And so when I looked at how can I truly help these young athletes develop the fundamentals of the game, I looked at the fact that they came in wearing their Fitbits and, were always on their phones and their devices. And so I went online to try to see if I could find something that would connect their fundamental skill development with a mobile device regarding specifically shooting. And I couldn't find anything at the time. So we are trailblazers in this industry. As I mentioned, it is a very nascent market. And based off of our pack that we can certainly share with you, we've got a 24-month roadmap where we'll look beyond just having a basketball sleeve to capture the form. We're looking to put in sensors and insoles of shoes to be able to get balance. We want to put the same sensors based off of what we're learning about muscle memory into knee sleeves, ultimately getting to the point where we're creating a full body avatar of the athlete when they're playing the game and connecting it into NBA 2K as an example. So we've got a pretty extensive roadmap of features, and the market is nascent, and we are trailblazers in this market.
That's great. Thank you. And I'll ask, hopefully, I think we have a little bit of time. I'll ask as a wrap-up question. What's your unfair advantage? Like, how do you guys win this space? What does your team bring to it that others won't?
Yeah, absolutely. So I myself played collegiately at Florida A&M University. I played Division I basketball there. And others on the team that are on the team also played basketball that I went to Florida A&M with. And the way that we're going to win in this space is staying ahead of the game. So when I kind of mentioned to you what was on our roadmap, you look at some of our competitors and the fact that there's no other product out there that's really trying to capture skill-specific movement. We're so early in the game with plans on advancing very quickly through our 24-month product roadmap, where we'll launch 8 new features every 3 months. That with these features and our connection with youth programs and our connections with athletes across varying levels, and the fact that we're willing to take feedback from these customers to get a feel for the things that they find would help improve their game, we'll quickly then cycle those back around and take it back to the lab and crank out additional products and additional features. So the way we win is by being tapped into the market and staying ahead of what users want to hear and see and use, while also taking in their feedback and incorporating it into our technology and quickly launching out these new features.
Okay.
Adam, can I squeeze one more in? Do we have, Jeremy, do you have a product, a performing product that's out and usable? I just want to make sure. I didn't understand that from your slide deck.
Sorry, yes. So we do have a product that's out and usable. We have sold some products here during our initial launch on social media. So we do have products that are available for launch.
Thank you.
Great. Thanks so much, JSleeve. Appreciate it. Good
All right.
job.
Thank you.